All right. We take the asking for forgiveness. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame Dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malakanda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Idang me silang Magapala Nyanasa Pachayo Hotu Appamadena Sampadeta. Hold on now. Let's hear some water dripping maybe. Okay. Let us do some guided metta before we start the Dhamma talk. Now relax here. Relax wherever you are. Let go of all the tiredness. Let go of all the tension. Just keep the body relaxed. Keep the mind peaceful, calm. Relax from top of the head down to the forehead and face. Down to the neck and shoulders, arms, the chest area, stomach area, to the spine, to the back. Relax the buttock, the legs, the knees, ankles, soles. Relax the body. Keep the mind open, calm, and peaceful. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. And may I truly be happy. Now let us spread our metta. Let us spread the metta to all the beings around here. May they be monks or nuns, yogis, volunteers, supporters, donors, to all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas residing here. To all the petas and to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May we all be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us expand our metta further. Expand the metta to all the beings in this country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas or petas, or animals big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this country be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us able to live in peace and in harmony with ourselves and with others. May all beings be well, be healthy, and may they all truly be happy. Now let us spread further. Let us spread our metta to all the beings in this world without exception. May they be our loved ones near or far away. May they be those whom we do not know wherever they are in this world. And to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all the guardian devas of the sasana. To all other devas residing in this world. To all the petas. And to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen, far or near. May all beings in this world be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all be peaceful. May all beings in this world able to live in peace and not in war. Live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, be well, and may all beings truly be happy. Now let us spread. Let us spread the metta to all beings without exception, without boundary, without condition. All beings from the all beings in this universe and all beings from all other universes. And all beings from the highest planes of existence and down to the lowest planes of existence. And all beings from all the world systems. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings able to live happily with themselves and happily with others. May all beings be well, be healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of harm and danger. Free from all mental suffering. Free from all physical suffering. May all beings may all beings be well. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be well. May they all be peaceful. And may all beings truly be happy. And slowly let go. Let go of the metta. We come back to the body. Feel the body. Feel the sensation. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Oh, this time is so humid. So far, so many years I came here. I never have these days of humidity so high. Hot and humid. Usually it's raining and damp. But this time it's hot and humid. So the humidity makes very uncomfortable. Anyway, where were we? We were at mindfulness. We're going to look into the next one, the investigation of Dhamma. Investigation of Dhamma, or the Pali is Dhamma Vichaya. In the investigation of Dhamma here, and when we use it in terms of Vipassana, then this will be similar or the same as clear comprehension, sampajanya. It's the same as what we are talking about. You're scrutinizing the object. You're paying attention to the more precisely, more thoroughly on the object. That is the investigation of Dhamma as a factor, as a mental factor. Investigation of Dhamma here. But then here, it also, another name which is similar to it, it's wisdom. It's wisdom. So it all have a different name. You read the Dhamma, you read the suttas, or the Abhidhamma. Sometimes they use different names for it. In the Abhidhamma, they use the word non-delusion, amoha, which is also wisdom. But what is important here is not know too much of this theory, which is good if you know it. But what is more important is that you must know how to apply it when you are doing Vipassana meditation. If you cannot apply it, apply that investigation of Dhamma, then you're not going to go any more further. Okay, this is a crucial aspect of it. Now, investigation of Dhamma, while we are doing Vipassana here, okay, we are not talking about thinking or analytical investigation. Not that analytical, not that thinking type, not that pondering or reflective type. That is not the type of that's not the type of investigation of Dhamma here. That we are not using that area. But when you are like during the Dhamma talk right now, then you think about it and you ponder over it, then it's still okay. It's still fine. You go out there and you go back, at home, and you read all your suttas and you read about Four Noble Truth and so on. That is a bit of that is analytical. That is a lot of theory. And that for that time, it is also correct if you use the word investigation of Dhamma. No, but in the sense of Vipassana, that one is not applicable. In the sense of Vipassana, it's all about paying attention to it thoroughly. So, the Dhamma here, finally the Dhamma here, falls within three things. The mind, or the mentality, then you have physicality or bodily, materiality. And then the third one is Nibbana. All right? The third one is Nibbana. So you have mind, you have body, you have mind, materiality, and also you have Nibbana. Nibbana also is a reality. It's also a kind of Dhamma. So we put Nibbana aside first. Okay. We're going to talk about Nibbana maybe, days or weeks to come too. But in the meantime, what is more important for us is this mind and body. You investigate. That means here we are not talking about analytical thinking, but more of precise noting on the Dhamma, on the mind and bodily objects. Okay? That's like what we are doing every day right now. Yeah? So the mind is paying attention on that object when we are looking from the perspective of vipassana. Hmm? Now, in the greater context, of this investigation of Dhamma, as I said, they are also the nature of wisdom. Yeah? Now, when we look at how we develop the understanding, at least on theoretical part, before even we come into the meditation, we need a lot of understanding, theoretical understanding, theoretical or analysis. We still need those things. If not, we cannot come over to doing vipassana. But when we are doing vipassana, we got to remove all this theoretical analysis. So in a way, those theory, those understanding, they are also act as a supportive factor for what you are doing over here. Without that understanding, without that theory, you wouldn't step into vipassana. You wouldn't want to step into vipassana because there's no understanding at all. There's or lack of understanding, or not much of it. It's only through this understanding, your theoretical understanding that you have developed, then it comes with faith. It comes with saddha. It comes with saddha. It comes with faith. Therefore, with that faith, you come over to meditate. You come over to strive. So, therefore, you still need some theory. But you will know, but as I said again, you must know when to use it and when not to use it. Now, in the development of our understanding towards the Dhamma, as a whole, even connected with the theory and so on. Now, on the broader context, not in the vipassana sense, now, in the broader context, the Buddha says we need the first type of wisdom. The first type of wisdom arises through hearing, of course, nowadays through reading also. Through hearing. The first type of wisdom arises through hearing. That means that here, the condition for you to be able to hear the Dhamma, you also must have done something good in your past, something wholesome in your past. Then only you have that opportunity, you have that spark arises into your heart, and therefore there's an inclination towards to listen to the Dhamma. And therefore, there's another thing is that more of a present cause is that you meet with the right people. You meet with the right friends. You meet with the right teachers. In other words, as a whole, you meet with the Kalyana Mitta. The word Kalyana Mitta here, in the different places, people interpret it differently. Kalyana Mitta sometimes is their buddy. Go makan because they do dana together, then they makan, and then also Kalyana Mitta. Not to say wrong, but It's not what the Buddha meant. You know? Sometimes you are in your friends for a long time in the Dhamma, you know. Maybe you are in some society, and you know, you come together as friends, learning the Dhamma together. Then you say Kalyana Mitta. Not to say yeah, wrong, you know, but not enough. The Buddha says that Kalyana Mitta is the one that actually shows you the path. You know, actually shows you the path towards enlightenment. You know. The Buddha put himself as Kalyana Mitta because he himself as a teacher, he himself as a guide, he himself as showing those to all of us who are ignorant to attain the enlightenment. Uh, so truly, in that sense, in the higher sense, Kalyana Mitta we use in that way. So in this context also, right now that we are practicing, then also as the teacher also, then we act also as a Kalyana Mitta. But Kalyana Mitta doesn't mean buddy, you know. Kalyana Mitta means their sense of respect, a sense of like, you know, sometimes we also need to admonish. Sometimes we need to praise. Sometimes we need to ask you just to carry on. That is the job for Kalyana Mitta. Then when you meet with the right people, then you hear the right Dhamma because they will speak the right things. If you meet with the wrong people, then you will hear the wrong things in life. So again here, depending on your wholesome karma, which arises in the present as also some degree of wisdom, which you have that thing, and then you meet with the right people, and together with that, then you hear the right stuff. If you know, during the Buddha's time, there's a lot of people met with the Buddha, a lot, and the Buddha gave talks, gave sermon, gave discourses, and yet many don't understand what the Buddha is talking. They just enough. Yeah, they don't understand. And you can see that a lot of it in the text. Yeah? So a lot of them also can understand. Yeah? But there are many, many more who cannot actually understand. Even they come arises with the Buddha at the same time, same period. So again, we need those wholesomeness of our past that we have done. Then when it arises, it it becomes friction in the present, and together with the right people, then you hear the right Dhamma. You hear the Dhamma, like for example, for Noble Truth, Noble Eightfold Path, karma and its vipaka, karma and its effect. You hear about what is reality, because uh, these are the dhammas that you cannot find it when there's no dispensation of the Buddha. When we arises during the dispensation of the Buddha, when the Buddha sasana is still here, the Buddha teaching is still here, then only we can hear this type of Four Noble Truth, Noble Eightfold Path, karma, vipaka, dependent origination. These types of talks only arises when the Buddha sasana is there here. Okay? Now, because of we have the opportunity to listen to it, then we listen to it because that talks, those type of sermon, those type of discourses, it goes parallel with the reality. It talks about Nibbana, although you haven't experienced Nibbana, but at least you listen to what, which there's a reality. You listen about karma and vipaka. Karma and vipaka actually happens in reality. Actually happens whether there's a Buddha or there's no Buddha. Even Nibbana itself, whether there's Buddha or no Buddha, doesn't matter. It's still there in a way, It's the Buddha guide us to how to realize that Nibbana. So too, so many things, the Buddha guide us in terms of like all this type of theory. And from that type of theory, then it's brought down from one generation to next generation to next generation until now. How long this sasana will carry on, we do not know. But along the way, there's a lot of corruption in the Dhamma. Yeah, so many years, there's a lot of corruption or whatever that's inserted into the Dhamma or Dharma or whatever, all inserted into it. So again here, it's your, it's your wisdom factor that able to filter it through to see which one is actually real and actually is not. And that is difficult. So because of having good past good deeds that you have done, and together with the right people, then you listen to the Dhamma. This is the first level of wisdom, because this Dhamma that you listen, it arises because it is parallel to the reality. Yeah. You can you can listen to all your, science, mathematics, financial thing, and so on. These are also in a way that they are knowledge, present day knowledge, helpful for your day-to-day life. But this is not fall under wisdom. Okay? It doesn't fall under wisdom. It falls under worldly knowledge. It is helpful. It's helpful for you to cari makan. We still need it helpful for you to do a lot of things worldly, but these are not wisdom. These are not wisdom. These are worldly knowledge. All right. So the wisdom here, whether the Buddha taught it or not, they are there. It's just that when the Buddha arises, when the dispensation arises, the Buddha revealed it so that we can able to listen to it and gain understanding from it. Okay, so the first thing is that you listen to the right Dhamma. So that listening and reading also nowadays, then it falls under the first type of wisdom. And that is crucial because you need to start off from somewhere. Then we have the second type of wisdom. The second type of wisdom is where you begin to analyze it. You begin to think about it, the theoretical aspect of it. The theoretical aspect of it is that when you analyze, when you think about it, and you ponder over it, and you reflect about it, in so many ways, you do it. Just right now, when you listen to the talk right now, you will listen to it, and then you think about it. So when you think about it, this falls under the second type of wisdom. Because when you think about it, you think about karma or vipaka, then it falls into it. You think about like impermanence, for example. You think about dukkha, you think about anatta. Good. Yeah. If you learn the suttas, you reflect on many ways of how the suttas is being understood. Sometimes they have a comparative study within certain suttas, and then they compare this sutta and another sutta. Or sometimes if they are from Abhidhamma scholar, they compare the different part of Abhidhamma, and with the Abhidhamma, they connect it with the suttas and so on. Yeah? Uh, At the monks level, then they have this analyzing on the Vinaya and so on. Yeah? So all these things falls under the second type of uh, wisdom. And that second type of wisdom, again, you ponder over something which has happened in reality. Hmm? But then the second type of wisdom also can go haywire. Not all the time you can reflect on it rightly, because of our defilements are still here inside our minds. So sometimes when we reflect and then corrupted with our own defilements, then we get distorted the thinking. Uh, uh, some people, some people they listen about karma and vipaka. They think and think and think and think. Cannot be like nothing pass over from this body to the next life or now. There must be something, some entity that is going to pass over from what we are dying, and then therefore the next the future person will inherit it, and then only you have all the how the karma and vipaka works. So if they think in that way, for example, then again here it become distorted. Uh, it become distorted. I'm not, of course, I'm not going to debate about all these type of things. I'm just telling you here, the whole thinking mind is already start to become distorted due to the wrong thinking. Uh, uh, and sometimes like dependent origination. Dependent origination because those things are so subtle. Uh, then it's hard to see all this functionality between mind and body and how they all interact together. So subtle, so difficult. So a lot of people don't want to understand what is dependent origination. So they think about dependent origination, they think it from the perspective of an I. Uh, Whereas dependent origination is to look from it from the perspective of non-self. It's difficult. I know it's difficult. No matter how you reflect over it, all these things, you're still in the layer of an I. Yeah. No matter you see the problem with analytical thinking. Say for example, you can be a Abhidhamma scholar or you can be a Sutta scholar, Pali Nikaya scholar, and so on. If you are a scholar in all these stuff things, no matter how you think over it, your defilements is just around it only. You think about something wholesome, but your defilements is just around it only. And you do not know that sometimes you just muscle into it already. And you still think that it's okay. Because let's say that, for example, you think about non-self. No matter how you think about non-self, you're perceiving everything from a perspective of self. It's just, for example, like that. Just like the fish and the turtle thing, the story of a fish and turtle. The turtle says that hey, there's such thing as land. There's such thing as land. But to the fish is that the fish, there's no such thing as land. Uh, because it's always in the water. It never come out. The turtle, at least it went up to the land, it came out to the water before. So the thing is this, we are like fishes. We are like inside thinking about land, and yet we are surrounded by water. Yeah. So to the same thing, when we think about non-self, we are still surrounded by self. So how? That is where, as I said, the distortion of the thinking can come in. Although we can have a lot of right thinking, but once in a while, this type of distortion, it's creep into our thinking. And sometimes this type of thinking creep inside us, a lot of theory, then sometimes they write it down in the books and so on. Then all becomes very distorted. The Dhamma become very distorted. Yeah? For example, also like certain imagination. They meditate, or they read something, and then they start to imagine. They start to imagine that they can see this thing, see that thing. And then when they start to imagine it, and those things become real, then also they think that it's real, but after that they write it down as a Dhamma book. Then if you are foolish enough, then you go and read and believe all those type of things, and then also you fall into this type of trapping. So an analysis, that this theoretical aspect of it, it can be quite problematic, if you are not careful. So anyway, the second type of wisdom is that you think about it. Now you ponder it, you analyze it, you theoretically analyze it. Now the third type of wisdom is the wisdom that arises from the mental development. From the mental development perspective is where you begin to reduce or eliminate or to eradicate the defilements. Then when the eradication of the defilement take place, then you begin to see the truth as they are. Yeah. Now the third type of wisdom here, it breaks into it. There's two parts of it. One is the development of bhavana. This is samatha, bhavana, samatha bhavana. Yeah? And then you have a vipassana bhavana. Samatha bhavana also have got its own level of wisdom. The level of wisdom through the development of samatha, for example, is that take an easy example. Say you take an in-breath, out-breath as a meditation object, and your purpose is to go into jhana. But initial aspect of it, in the development of the in-breath, out-breath, you also need to able to differentiate between in-breath and its nimitta that arises. Nimitta here, what I'm saying is here is a mind-made object, mental created object. The clarity of that nimitta also depending actually also on your mindfulness also. If your mindfulness not strong, this nimitta also not just concentration. People thought that it's just concentration. No, it's mindfulness. It's to keep the mind steady there. As the more the mindfulness that you have, actually the nimitta becomes even more clearer. With that, then because it becomes clearer, the mind can differentiate it. This is nimitta. This is the in-breath, out-breath. In the beginning part, it's very difficult for a yogi, for a samatha yogi to differentiate because everything is just mixed together. Even it comes up, it's weak. Come up weak, cannot sustain. So You have to train, you have to develop action on that mindfulness again and again, arouse it again and again until that nimitta becomes very clear. Then becomes very clear, then you can able to differentiate the breath and the nimitta. Then once you let go of the breath slowly, you begin to take up the nimitta as an object, a mind-made object. Now in this mind-made object, because of you can do that, you can sustain it, that is also in a way that, wisdom is involved because of that differentiation of bodily object and a mind-created object. It takes wisdom for it to differentiate it. Then, as you go further into it, let's say you can able to attain jhana from it. Let's say you can attain jhana from it, and also with the attainment of jhana, there's 1, 2, 3 level or 4 level of jhana. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 level of jhana. Again, here different level of jhana, you need again different wisdom. That this is the first jhana, this is the second jhana, this is the third jhana, this is the fourth jhana. How are you going to know it? And again here, this is the wisdom factor. The wisdom factor to differentiate all the different jhanas. Then also not only that, within that samatha bhavana also you can differentiate also if your wisdom is strong. Now the Buddha talked about the 5 factors of jhana. Vittaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. All this. Again here, if you can, when you read about it, it's so simple. Maybe. But when you actually meditate in the samatha, again here, differentiating between one mental factor to another mental factor, it is not an easy feat. It needs wisdom factor. Again here, when you go into the higher jhanas like arupa jhana, 5th jhana, 6th jhana, 7th jhana, 8th jhana, let's say that. 5, 6, 7, 8, that is even more subtle jhana. The jhana is even more subtle. Everything disappeared, but what is empty, what is inside there, there are different type of emptiness, different type of nothingness inside there. Then it differentiates a different level of jhana again. So all this type of thing, you need wisdom. You need wisdom just to put it to make you. Don't ever think that samatha meditation doesn't develop any form of wisdom. You don't have wisdom, you're not strong, it's impossible for you to attain any form of jhana or even that development within the samatha bhavana itself. So it needs strong wisdom too. But the thing is that this wisdom, although it can able to penetrate into so many areas of the mind, different levels of the mind, and because of that differentiation of those jhana that you can able to achieve, then here with that, it gives rise to wholesome mental states, a very wholesome mental state. That is to say, it can give rise to rebirth, a good rebirth, a Brahma rebirth. In fact, not just any rebirth, Brahma rebirth. For a long, long time, you can stay there. The wonderful rebirth, but very long. So because of those development, it gives rise to this wonderful rebirth. But again here, it is not going out of samsara. Your defilements, your mental defilements, your greed, hatred, delusion, in a way that they are suppressed, but not eradicated. They are suppressed for a long, long period of time. For a long, long period of time. but they are not eradicated. Because they are not eradicated, you are still in samsara. There's still rebirth taking place. Because this greed, hatred, delusion, they are the fodder, they are the ingredient for your samsara. Yeah? So, so this is on the samatha bhavana, on the wisdom that's connected with samatha bhavana. Now, the wisdom that's connected to vipassana meditation, connected to the vipassana meditation here, it is this. It is that mind that able to differentiate. Again, here you can able to differentiate between um, what is mind and what is matter. Okay, you can differentiate between mind and matter. Now it is not differentiate between what is like samatha. It's different type of wisdom. It's wisdom, but the application of it is different. It's the same wisdom, but it's different. Right now is that you begin to differentiate the object of the body and mind. In the body, there are several aspects of its qualities. You got hardness, you got softness, warmness, coldness, and so on. Then your mind also the same thing. Your mind has got its own different qualities. Now, in that different qualities, you're going to pay attention to them whenever they are prominent. Okay? Whenever they are prominent, you pay attention to them. Okay. Then, when you pay attention to them, you begin to see their true characteristic, their true nature of those mind and body. And when we begin to see those things again and again, and you see how they change and so on, then deeper knowledge arises in the sense of you begin to see changes, impermanence, things arises, passes away, and so on. With that, it arises what we call knowledge, insight knowledge. It arises because you keep on paying attention to them, not by you think about them, then only you go in. It's not that, it's that you truly pay attention to them, then truly the true knowledge begin to surface, and you begin to see things as they really are. As you begin to see them as they really are, again and again, repeatedly, until the mind matures, then it sees or realizes nibbana. And when it sees realized nibbana, at the same time, eradication of defilement take place. Because of that eradication, then there's a samsara comes to an end, will come to an end. Within that life or within some in future lives. So it can come to an end because of that nature of that wisdom, or that application of wisdom. Then we do this vipassana meditation. So in this vipassana meditation, the wisdom that we arises is true from truly paying attention, not the thinking part. But say it's easy. Every time the yogi, when they meditate, they will go back to the thinking part. Meditate a little bit, go back to the thinking part. They meditate a little bit, think and think and think and think and think and think. Theory is one thing. When they're actually doing it, it's not so easy because we are so used to thinking. We are not used to paying attention, noting here, noting there, not. We used to think and think and think. Our life is thinking only. Your job, look at your job. If you are working, the whole day thinking only. They pay you for your thinking. You think you pay you for your muscle? No lah. They pay you for your thinking. So because we are thinking, you keep on thinking, thinking. So when we come into meditation, which you're supposed to just pay attention to the object, but the mind just goes back to the thinking again and again, so easily. Yeah. So again here, when at least when you understand the theory, then we must know how to push the mind towards the actual type of wisdom. Here, in the actual type of wisdom, we use the word investigation of Dhamma. Uh, you truly pay attention to scrutinize the true nature of the objects, of your vipassana objects. Uh, because of that thing, we need to exercise that level of wisdom or that level of investigation of Dhamma. Just like, just like you must know how to arouse that mindfulness. So too here, you also must know how to arouse and sustain that investigation of Dhamma. You see, mindfulness and investigation of Dhamma goes together. Okay, they goes together in a way. Mindfulness can arise without investigation of Dhamma. Okay, mindfulness can arise without investigation of Dhamma, but investigation of Dhamma cannot arise without mindfulness. It cannot terbalik, Okay, let me repeat again. Investigation of Dhamma cannot arise if there's no mindfulness. But mindfulness can arise without investigation of Dhamma. So you must learn from this sati, from this mindfulness, and to push it through investigation of Dhamma. So how do we do it? Here is where we use the term you note precisely, you note thoroughly, you note again and again clearly, not superficially. And then when you note it in that way, then you're arousing the investigation of Dhamma. No? Investigation of Dhamma is that in my retreat, if I teach, if you've been following me, sometimes some of you here have been, some of you have seen from, no, Kuching not here, seen from KKB, then Nalanda, and then Penang, and then here again. Repeat the whole thing again. You begin to know that what I'm going to talk next. You begin to know what I'm going to talk next because you cannot run away from all these things. The more that actually you do it, the more you become small. It becomes more sharper. And not only sharper, it becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, it's very good. Because that mind that is truly able to note will keep on showing you all kinds of results, all kinds of things. Yeah? At least every day there are some things to see. But in the beginning, it's not easy. As a beginner, you got to sometimes, honestly speaking, sometimes you have to go through a number of retreats first, sometimes 2 or 3 retreats before you actually pay attention to it. Some yogis within a retreat, but actually quite a lot of yogi, 2 or 3 retreats only, then only they really be more precise. So it is not that easy. They can be mindful, they can be mindful, but that sustaining the mindfulness keep on dropping. But because they are persistent, which is good, then they do it. Now, to take a simple example, how we exercise this wisdom factor is again like in your walking meditation, comparatively to your first phase and your third phase walking meditation. First phase walking meditation is not thorough. It's not thorough. You just right step, left step. Your mind, as I said, your mind need to be there. Your mind, you need to be there. You need to go. You need to stay there. Your mind, to be present. At the same time, we do that also is to help to relax the body. As I said many times, the body needs to be relaxed in order for us to do this vipassana. So you need to relax this body. So you right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step, right step, left step. So you do that. Wonderful. Yeah. There's mindfulness there. If your mind is not running, if your mind is not thinking so much and not outside listening or something or looking at something or not thinking, your mind is just able to follow. Then there's mindfulness. But there's no thoroughness in it to it. So when you come into the third phase, when you go into the third phase, then you exercise precision of noting. You you take note of how the whole lifting take place, and you label it together. At the same time, while you're lifting it up, you begin to differentiate. There is for example, there's a heaviness that it arises. For example, that heaviness that you notice, you begin to see its true nature. It begins to reveal itself to you. That means you are exercising the investigation of Dhamma, investigation on the sensation of the leg here, of the movement here. And sometimes when you lift up, sometimes there are vibration. So you notice that vibration. It happens just for a short while. And then you exercise again the investigation of Dhamma. Or the wisdom factor, or the clear comprehension. Then when you push forward, also the same. You push forward slowly and you pay attention to how the vibration is like, or the smoothness, or sometimes heaviness, sometimes jagged, sometimes it moves, sometimes it's not straight, sometimes it moves slightly out, sometimes it moves slightly in. Whatever happens, you don't go and kacau it, you observe it. You just notice it, then it lands. Then when it lands, you don't know it as dropping. Then you notice sometimes there is sensation in the heel first. Sometimes you notice the heel touch first before the toes comes down. Sometimes you notice the toes touch first before the heels come down. Sometimes you notice the whole leg touch down together. Sometimes you touch down, then you again here, you pay more precise attention. You notice that sometimes there's sensation at the heel and at the front, or different toes have different sensation. So you pay attention in that way. All these things that you pay attention in this way, then it truly exercises your investigation of Dhamma. So you exercise it. You are in the present. You're still in the present, but you're more thorough in the noticing right now. So do that. But then sometimes yogis are so kanchiong. They want to develop very fast before they go back. So they skip all the first phase. Nghe lại already, lifting, pushing, dropping. You look at them. What time is your walking at? Let's say 2 p.m. You're walking to 3 p.m. 2 p.m. already so slow already. 2:30 even slower. 3 o'clock is not moving anymore. Then only go down to sleep. You're gonna get bao cha, I tell you. Stress until you go mad. Yeah. Some people are like that, they want it to be very fast. But no, practice cannot be like that. Those days also I did like that, but end up with all kinds of tension and all kinds of everything. Yeah. But we learn to balance it out. As I said, we begin with the first phase first. Relax the body. Relax the body, build up that mindfulness. Then when you build it up, then slowly you go into the third phase. then only you can exercise. As I said, the you need mindfulness. You need mindfulness first before you can really pay attention to those things. Huh? You need to be relaxed also. Your body needs to be relaxed. So relax, it gives you the better condition for you to be precise. Sometimes you can be quite fast. Sometimes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, your body is quite relaxed and you feel quite good and your mind is quite clear. Then that time you already go into more slower phase. Well and good, it's okay. But at times, slightly in the somewhere half an hour, 40 minutes, you find that the body is a bit tense. And then you go up, you move up a little bit faster. Also can, not to say cannot. You also could do that. So this is one thing. In the walking one, you have to be gradually you slow down. You slow down, it helps the investigation of Dhamma, it helps the precision to be more sustainable and it doesn't create such a tension and so on in the body. In the sitting meditation, then it's different. Sitting meditation, because you're already body in a way that you are relaxed. In the retreat, you are expected to straight away to be precise already. Not like these people at home in the online one. At home one, you're not meditating the whole day. At home one, you go kai, go marketing, go shopping. Then only you come back. You go to work and come back. And then you need some degree of relaxation also. You need some degree of relaxation before you start off with more precise noting. But for a yogi in the retreat center, while we are in the retreat, you cannot do like what at home people are doing or what you are doing at home. Here, you sit down, immediately you have to be more, you have to be precise. Your relaxation is more like you sit down, you're aware of your body, sit down, everything everything fine, everything good. Okay. Straight away, watch your rising and falling already. Start to label already. Don't wait there, sit there, relax, the body relax, relax from the head to the face to the neck, like what I do for this one. If you do like that, everything is going to relax away, then nothing much is going to develop. So moment you sit down, pay attention to your rising and falling because your body in a way is relaxed already. So that time, pay attention to it. Rising, fallings, sitting, touching, pain, and notice them precisely. How the rising and falling is like? Is the falling wrong, fast, short, slow? That is the nature of how you exercise the wisdom factor. If you just sit there, rise, fall, yeah, you're mindful, but you're not precise. You know, no, your mind is not actively noticing what is going on. Just mindful. So we want you to be precise in your noticing. There's vibration, you know it, there's a vibration there. You know that is a pulling in the stomach area, you know it's pulling. You know it's going in the heart area, start to beep up at the heart area. You also start noting that also. You don't question it. Whatever that's happening inside you, pay attention to it. Then the pain comes in. Pay attention to the pain. How the pain getting more, getting less, twisted this way, twist that way. You notice it in that way. You are exercising that wisdom factor. Uh, you are precise in noticing what is going on. So you do that again and again. All right. I think for now we'll stop on this here. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow is the interview on the list is on my chair there already. Easier after you take one of the paper, stick it down there in the whiteboard. Okay, we share merits. Idang me bhavanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bhagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.